Good morning, grade 10s. Here we are to do Trig Word Problems. It's page 247 or 262. I'm pretty sure that's close. So we'll do all the problems. And remember, I'm not going to actually do the right answer because the calculator issue, some of you are forwards and some of you are backwards, and it's a pain to bring up my calculator on the screen, and I don't want to confuse the issue, so I'm just going to show you the work and get to the very last part where you write down whether it would be division or multiplication. I'll talk about it when it happens, and then we can go from there. Okay, so let's get down to it. So here we are on page, indeed, 247 or 262. So basically, to do these questions, you have to have a triangle. It's trigonometry. You have to have a triangle. So one of the easiest things to do is just draw a triangle. But read the question first. So I read this question and I see that Ike is standing on a soccer field looking at the roof of the school. Well, the school roof must be up in the air, and Ike must be on the ground. Well, there's your triangle. If Ike is here, I want the angle of elevation to be 30. Well, where's an angle of elevation? It's always between the ground and up. So there is 30 degrees. And Ike is 42 meters away from the school. Well, there's your triangle. Here's Ike. So you have a theta of 30. This is adjacent to Ike. You have an adjacent of 42. And across the way, we want to know how tall the school is. That's an opposite, and we don't know what that is. So what uses O and A? That's tan. Tan theta equals O over A. And then we just fill it in. Tan 30 equals O x over A 42. Number is on the bottom, so it's 42 times tan 30. Now, of course, we don't write that times because it looks like an x. So 42 tan 30, just like we'd write 3x is 3 times x. So 42 tan 30 is your answer. Now, the two ways to punch that in are, if you have a forward calculator like me, you push 4, 2, then you might have to push times, but you don't always have to push times. It depends on your calculator. So I'm going to push times because it will always work. Tan 30 equals. Or if you have a backwards calculator, you need to push 42 times 30 tan equals. You decide which one of those you push. Again, I'm not going to bother getting out my calculator because it's a pain on my screen. So that is the answer. And quite frankly, as you go later into math, that's often how you'd be leaving the answer. But anyway. So, Abby is flying in an airplane. Airplanes are off the ground, 2,500 feet. So she is 2,500 feet off the ground. How far away is the town of Mission? The town of Mission would be on the ground, of course, if she sees it at an angle of depression. Now, this is tricky because she's going to look down at the town of Mission, and some of you are going to say, well, this is her angle of depression. But that's wrong because her angle of depression, just like an angle of elevation, is here. This is 15. So, of course, that gives you this red triangle, but you're not dumb. The red triangle is the exact same as the black triangle. So if this is 15, then this must be 15, because the angle of depression from the plane would have to be the same as the angle of elevation from the ground. So there's your triangle. And again, you have a theta of 15. You have an opposite this time of 2,500, and your adjacent is what you don't know. So again, it's tan theta equals O over A. Tan of 15 equals 2,500 over x. The number is on top, so this is division. So x equals 2,500 divided by tan 15. And again, depending on your calculator. Forward calculator, 2,500 divided by button tan 15 equals. Backwards calculator, 2,500 divided by 15 tan equals. This is a tricky question. A road rises 1 meter for every 19 meters measured along the road. So there's the road, it's going up. If I go 19 meters on the road, here's my car. If I drive up the road 19 meters, I rise 1 meter. So how far does the car travel horizontally when it travels 300 meters along the road? So this is now 300. I don't know that. And I don't know the horizontal distance. But you do know this because this triangle would fit right there, wouldn't it? This angle is the same in both of them. So how do I find this angle right here? Well, that's theta. What do I have? I have an opposite and I have a hypotenuse. What uses O and H? Well, sine theta is O over H. So sine theta, we don't know theta, is 1 over 19. So we have to do shift sine theta, and that is 1 divided by 19. So I go to my calculator, and again, if I have the forward calculator, I'm going to go shift sine bracket. Some of your calculators will give you the bracket automatically. 1 divided by 19, close brackets, equals. If I have a backwards calculator, I'm going to go bracket 1 divided by 19, close brackets, shift sine. And then you may need to push equals, you may not. And once you do that, you're going to get this answer. Now that I'm actually going to do on my calculator because I need it. Shift sine 1 divided by 19, 19, close brackets, enter, 3 degrees. So now I can solve this one because I can do that because I know this is 3. So in this one right here, I have theta of 3, I have an H of 300, and I don't know A. I'm running out of room here. I didn't draw this very well. I wasted a lot of space over here. So right here is where I am working now. What uses A and H? Well, that is cos theta equals A over H. Cos 3 equals x over 300. X equals 300 times cos 3. That's one way to do it. There's lots of other ways you could do that, but that's one way you could do it. Whatever way you did, you would get the same answer as that when you punch that into your calculator. That is the answer you seek. Okay, determine the area of this rectangle. The area of a rectangle is length times width. So I have this red triangle right here. So if I know that, that's the width of the triangle, isn't it? Oops. Width. Then if I know, I also have, and I'm going to draw it up here because it's the exact same triangle, I also have, if this is 21, what's this? Well, of course, that's 21. And in the blue triangle, I can get the length right there. So I'll do the red one first. Theta is, of course, 21. This is where I'm standing. There I am. Gray hair, gray beard. If I'm standing there, that's theta. What's that? Well, that's an opposite, is W, and hypotenuse is 12.7. So I get what uses O and H, sine theta equals W, equals O over H, sine of 21 equals W over 12.7, 12.7 times sine 21 equals W. Now, I'm not even going to go to my calculator yet, and you'll see why in a second. So I know that this is W. If I punch that into my calculator, I'm going to get a giant decimal. Let's just leave it there for a second and watch what happens. Let's go to the blue one. Theta is still 21. But in this case, it's adjacent equals L, and hypotenuse equals 12.7. What uses A and H? Cos theta equals A over H. Cos 21 equals L over 12.7. So 12.7 cos 21 equals L. Now, we know that area equals LW. Now, you just did systems, that's substitution. Area equals LW. Well, L is 12.7 times cos 21 times width, 12.7 sine 21. So there you could just put it all into your calculator and never have to worry about rounding. 12.7 cos 21, there's the first one, times 12.7 sine 21. Enter. And there's your answer, 53.96, so 54. Okay, determine the length of MN. Here is MN. Now, if I need MN, I need to know two pieces of information. I need to know, in a triangle, I need to know two sides or one side and one angle. So in this red triangle, do I know either of those? I have one angle, but do I know the other sides? No. But this side, which I'm now going to draw in blue, is part of this blue triangle. And does that blue triangle help me out? Yeah, because I know an angle and a side. So I have to use the blue triangle in order to work with the red triangle. So in the blue triangle, theta was 33. The hypotenuse was 8.2. And this is the adjacent, is x. So of course that's cosine 33 equals x over 8.2. So 8.2 cos 33 equals x, and there's my x. Now you're smart kids. That blue x, which is right here, is the red hypotenuse, isn't it? So in the red triangle, I have a theta of 49. I have a hypotenuse of x. X is 8.2 cos 33. I'm not going to go to my calculator yet. I need this side opposite over here, which is the side I need. I'm going to call it y. What uses O and H? Sine. Sine of 49 equals opposite y over 8.2 cos 33. What do you do with that? Of course, you have to multiply it. So I have 8.2 cos 33 times sine 49 will give me my answer. And you just punch that into your calculator, again, exactly as you see it if you have a forward calculator, or if you have a backwards calculator, just to remind you, 33 cos times 8.2 times 49 sine equals. That's what you punch in if you have a backwards calculator. And you will get the answer. And I am going to start doing some of these. 8.2 cos 33. Oops, cos 33 times sine 49. Close the bracket, equals 5.2. And then, oh, this is long. I'm gonna, because I don't remember how long we've been going here. Just let me check. We're 16 minutes in. Okay, so I'm gonna actually stop now and ask you guys to attempt the rest of these. I will make that Monday's video. We'll be going over that, and then I'm going to get you to do some trig practice here, and that's the last thing we're doing this year. So next week you'll do a trig review and a trig test, and I'll assign your final assignment, which will just be a Google quiz, all multiple choice, and that'll be due the day before marks are due. I'll put all that into stream comments this week. Okay? So tonight, over the weekend, I want you to try 249. Well, you can go as far as you want. You can go right up to the trig review if you want. And I'll do the key to the rest of this on Monday. Okay? So have a good weekend, grade 10s. See you soon, I hope.